All right, Mr. Fullerton, you've given us all these great examples of factoring out if it's just a number. But Mr. Fullerton, what if I got some variables that are the same? Good question. Let's look at example 3. Example 3, we have 5p squared q plus 10q. All right. We see that we have q in both of these, so what do you think a common factor of q is going to be? You got it, q. Next, we're going to look at the coefficients here. We got 5 and 10. Which one's the lowest? 5. I'm going to do a little something different on this one. I'm going to break this down completely here. And what I mean by that is I'm going to expand it out as far as I can take it. So we have 5 times p, because remember p squared is p, times q. All right, plus, we know that 5 goes into 10, so we're going to say 5 times 2 times q. Here's the good thing about expanding this out completely like this. Now I can look at both sets. So I have this 5 times p times q, and I have this 5 times 2 times q. Let's go through and circle what's common in both. Well, there's a 5 in both, so that's common. There's a q in both, so that's common. So my GCF is whatever I have circled now. Well, I have a 5q and a 5q, so 5q is my GCF. To factor it completely, I take whatever's not circled up here and I put it back in the parentheses. Well, I noticed that the p times p is not circled, and p times p is p squared. And the 2 is not circled, so 2. And that is my factored form now. Because if I check, 5q times p squared is 5p squared q. And 5q times 2 is 10q. So there would be my answer. All right. And last example, example 4, we're going to say 9a to the 5th plus a cubed. And here's where expanding it out completely, like in the last example, kind of helps when you get these larger exponents. So let's expand this bad boy out. 9 times a times a times a times a times a, because right, it's 5 times, plus a times a times a. All right, so we want to circle what's in common here. We have a here, we have an a here. We have an a here, we have an a here. A here, a here. So how many times do I circle a on this one? How many times do I circle a on this one? So there's 3 there, there's 3 there. So my GCF is a cubed. Here's another little trick. If your coefficients are the same, take the one with the lowest exponent. Well, the lowest exponent is 3, so that's my GCF. Whatever's not circled goes back in the parentheses. 9AA, so that's 9a squared. Right, so think about exponent laws. What's 5 minus 3? 2. Because remember, I took 3 out of that 5, so I got 2 left. Plus, I've taken all my a's. So what can I multiply a to the 3rd by to give me a to the 3rd? Well, anything times what gives me a to the 3rd? 1. A cubed times 1 gives me a cubed. And there is my answer for that one.